The COVID-19 stimulus bill and vaccination efforts dominating headlines over the last week. You may have missed some other issues, especially in state politics. Newswatch 12's Cooper Henkel joins us now live in studio to explain two interesting policies up for debate in Madison. Cooper?
Justin, a number of female Republican lawmakers met to unveil the Protecting Women in Sports Act. It's a controversial bill similar to others proposed in more than a dozen states around the country. The bill would restrict transgender students from competing in athletics. Proponents say current restrictions, like a one-year hold for athletes beginning hormone replacement therapy, don't go far enough to protect women in competitions.
Biological females are losing opportunities at titles, records, scholarships, and even participation at times.
Opponents of such measures say they further existing discrimination under the guise of addressing a threat to women. The Wisconsin LGBTQ caucus issued a statement condemning the bill, saying in part, quote, "This legislation is a blatant attempt to codify discrimination and perpetuate damaging, inaccurate, and deeply offensive stereotypes against trans youth," end quote. Governor Evers shared a tweet expressing his support for trans youth in Wisconsin. The legislation is unlikely to become law in the state without his signature. Now, a different group of lawmakers wants Wisconsin's congresspeople to be chosen by ranked choice instead of the current winner-take-all system. If you're not familiar with the difference, it's a little more complex. It sounds more complex than it actually is. Now, the primaries would leave the top 5 candidates in a race on the ballot. Voters then choose in order of preference for candidates instead of just one winner. If no one candidate breaks 50%, then they're removed from the race. Their supporters' second preference would then get those votes. That continues until one person breaks that 50% mark. Supporters say it helps address hyperpartisanship, while opponents say the cost of transitioning and the added difficulty to the voting process makes it more harmful than helpful overall. Maine is currently the only state using it in the United States, although Alaska will start next year. For now, Evers has signaled he will veto any legislation that would make it harder to vote in Wisconsin. Justin?